Were you guys surprised that he was not suspended by the NFL for the criminal complaint against his for the injuries that occurred to his son that he had with a woman, a 3-year-old son whose arm was broken in a domestic incident? He's had domestic incidents in the past while he was in college. He has this one.
I believe with the same woman.
The same woman,
while he's with the Chiefs. But the NFL basically concluded that because they couldn't prove who caused the injury to the boy, they couldn't suspend him due to the personal conduct.
They interviewed him. They interviewed him for, I believe, 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to interview her. She declined an interview.
Right.
They contacted the family members.
Didn't they drop the charges?
They just don't have the evidence.
Did they also drop the charges against him?
Well,
yes.
the case is no longer active.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's shut case. The case is done. So I don't know what they could have done. It's obvious where there's smoke, there's fire. Something's clearly going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Chiefs and I think most fans in general assumed he was going to be suspended. They went out and drafted a receiver, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they thought they were going to need one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you remember when the story first hit, I mean, everybody just thought that was it. He's done.
I guess they just don't have the evidence.
They just don't have the evidence. So now he's just a full participant. I don't know. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're probably excited.
Oh, of course.
Unless,
if you're Pat Mahomes, you're excited.
Yeah. And you read most of the tweets and the responses from most of the players, they seem to be able to separate it fine. They just want his ass back in the offense.
But if you don't have the evidence, what can you do?
I don't know. From afar, I was definitely surprised.
Could you imagine, being Andy Reid or the people in the front office, for the Chiefs, like you're worried every second of probably every day while this guy is on your roster.
That he's going to do something like this.
Just something terrible like this is going to happen.
The problem is, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. You just don't know. But with his track record, the fact that when he was at Oklahoma State, he later pled guilty to domestic assault with this woman, including strangulation, battery by strangulation. He pled guilty to that.
Yeah. He's a bad guy.
He admitted that.
He's a bad guy that's super talented. He's
a
bad guy that's super talented at football. That's the reason I feel like if he were just a run-of-the-mill player, the 50th guy on the roster, the Chiefs would have
cut him.
Would have cut him long ago.
Of course.
Long time ago.
He can play, so he's going to have a spot.
Right. He's a star.
But in terms of the investigation, look, I'm just giving you what I'm reading, but if you don't have the evidence, how can you suspend him?
I don't know. It's a bad look for the NFL.
They did their due diligence.
Can't they suspend you sometimes just for...
They suspended him on April 25th.
Can't they suspend him just for sort of, it's just a bad look all the way around? Just clearly something went on there.
I would think not, but I
think
don't know.
that's why I'm sure a lot of...
I think you got more evidence than that.
I think a lot of Cowboys fans are probably just outraged that Zeke served, a 6-game suspension, and Tyreek Hill basically gets off scot-free.
Now, he released a statement. He said, the last few months have been very difficult for me, especially as a father. The false allegations originally reported in March were highly publicized and involved the care of my son. I'm grateful for so many and grateful so many people who have supported me during this challenging time. I fully respect and accept the NFL's decision. The NFL decision was to do nothing. He says to his friends and fans and family he's made in Kansas City, I love you and thank you for your support. He goes on and on and on. And then he says, to my children, my beautiful children, I love you all dearly, and I promise you all that I'll continue to strive to be the best father, best friend, best role model, and the best mentor I can be. I love you all. How many kids does he have?
I have no idea.
She just gave birth to twins.
That are his?
Pretty sure.
But here, if I were the Chiefs,
I'm pretty sure. I don't know that for a fact, but I think so.
I am hiring him a full-time babysitter. He needs some sort of like life coach or mentor to basically get him through his life from the sound of it.
Yeah,
he needs some help, some counseling, some anger counseling. If I'm the Chiefs, if I don't want him to, explode on, another woman or a man in a bar fight, whatever, I'm getting him whatever counseling I think he needs. And I'm going to try to build some sort of support system around him to try to prevent anything like this from happening while he's still on my roster. I can't just let him keep living his life the way he's been living it.
You're definitely got to do that.
He's got to be
that's at a bare minimum.
Strict counseling and there's zero tolerance for anything like this going forward.
You would think.
I'm sure he's been read that.
I'm just so shocked that they couldn't just suspend him just for a couple weeks, if nothing else, just because obviously they've got a son together who's got a broken arm.
Right.
It didn't happen like falling off a bike or something.
Well, he was suspended for 3 months. I mean, he was barred from any team activities since April, was it 25th?
Right, but did he miss any games?
No. I'm just saying he was not allowed to be at the facility for any of those off-season workouts.
Is that what they're saying? Then we did suspend him, and we've now sort of essentially lifted it?
They suspend him pending the investigation.
The investigation showed his son has a broken arm that didn't happen like falling off a bike. So, you get control of your home life situation. We're going to have to
you would think
put you on ice for a couple games.
If they had, some solid concrete evidence, they would have suspended him
Haven't
for the
they
regular
suspended
season.
like Roethlisberger before for just like, the appearance of impropriety, like with the woman? Like some allegations in the past?
I'd have to go back and
I
look at that.
vaguely remember that. Don't you remember that? Like Roethlisberger being suspended for a game or two?
Maybe he was. I can't
but
remember.
maybe they found in those investigations that there was something to it.
Got to be something.
But why wouldn't they suspend him then?
I don't know.
Do they even have custody of the kid?
I'm not sure at this
No,
I thought they took the kid away from him. I thought the state took the kid away from the mother. I could be wrong. Thought I read that.
800-636-1067 is the number if you want to weigh in on the NFL's decision not to suspend Tyreek Hill.
They're saying the understanding is that the child is safe and that the child's ongoing care is being directed and monitored by the Johnson County District Court. That doesn't mean they've taken him.
Oh, okay.
But it's being directed and monitored. So maybe
He's being overseen. They probably have to do
probably
visits
over
into
there
the house
all the time.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
which is good because you have to put the kids' welfare. That has to be the priority.
All right, so on April 18th, the Kansas City Star reported this. On April 18th, the child was removed from the custody of Hill and the boy's mother. And it's not clear if that status has changed. Let's assume that it has changed because they probably would have reported that. But, yeah, I think she just gave birth to twins, and I think Hill is the dad. My question is, if that's true, and he was strangling her back in college, what is she still having kids with him for?
Yeah, I don't know.